All right, guys, so hopefully you have this homework worksheet moved into Notability, and you already watched the video where Miss Endel walked you through a couple examples of how we move equations into function form. And I'm going to walk through just a couple more examples with you that are from your homework sheet. So obviously it'd be a good idea to be writing this down as we go because I'm going to help you get some of your homework problems done. All right, so quick review. Remember, function form is y equals, and then we have something times x, remember that's the coefficient, that number there, and then plus or minus something else, the constant. Okay, and up until today, all of the equations that you've been given have already been in function form, but now they're going to start, some being in function form still, but some not, and so we're going to need to move them around. So let's work on a couple. So remember, as we look at number 1, our goal is to get y by itself, and ideally we want that y to be on the left side. All right, so I'm going to start by moving away whatever's with the y. So I have a minus 3x, so to undo that or move it over, I'm going to add 3x to both sides. So then I have 20 plus 3x equals 4y, because the minus 3x and the plus 3x canceled. Now, I'm going to right now go ahead and switch my order just because it feels a little easier. And I'm also going to switch that 3x and the 20 because, again, it's addition, so addition can happen in any order. So I just moved things around there in that step. All right, my next step is, again, I'm trying to get y by itself. So since it's 4 times y, to undo that multiplication, I need to divide. And when I divide by 4, remember I have to divide everything by 4. So the 4 and the 4 cancel, and I get y equals 3/4 x plus 5. And that's function form. And on this worksheet here, all we're doing is writing each equation in function form. We're not going to graph it. We'll add that on soon, but for right now, we are just practicing moving equations into function form. All right, so that one took several steps. This next one's not going to take as many steps. Let's look at number 2. Again, my goal is to get y by itself, and so I have an x there. It's a positive x, so to get rid of it, I'm going to subtract. And remember, when we have a variable without a number, we can add that one coefficient if it helps us, which I think sometimes it does. So I've got y equals 0 minus 1x. And so your equation could be y equals negative 1x, or y equals negative 1x plus 0. It's fine if you put that plus 0. Or you don't even need to have that 1. You could just have y equals negative x. And any of those variations would all work. And again, that one had less steps because as soon as I subtracted x from both sides, my y was already by itself. And again, the goal is to get y by itself. So as soon as it's by itself, you're good to go. All right, let's go to number 3 then. Okay, so again, my goal is to get y by itself. So I'm first going to get rid of that 3x. Since it is a positive 3x, to get rid of it, I'm going to subtract 3x. So 3x minus 3x cancels, and I'm left over here with negative 1y. And again, I'm going to put that 1 in front of the y so I don't lose the negative sign. And if it helps you even at the very beginning, you could keep change, whatever it takes to make sure you don't lose that negative sign. And then I have negative 2 minus 3x. Again, I cannot combine those because they are not like terms. I'm going to go ahead and keep change, and I'm going to switch the order right now. It really doesn't matter if you switch the order now or at the very end, but sometimes I think it's just a little easier to get it done right off the bat. My last step then is to divide by negative 1, and I need to divide everything by negative 1. So I get y equals positive 3x plus positive 2, because in both of those I have a negative divided by a negative, and that is positive. Again, I'm in function form because I have the y by itself and then equals the x term plus the constant. Let's go to number 4. All right. Again, my goal is to get y by itself, so I'm looking what's with the y. Well, right now the only thing that is with the y is that 2. And because there's multiplication between the 2 and the y, to undo it, I'm going to divide. And I do need to divide everything by 2. This is another one where, since there's not a number in front of the x, I'm going to put a 1 there. That might help you out a little bit. So I've got y equals 4 divided by 2 is 2. And this would be 1/2 x. Because it's 1 divided by 2, that's just 1/2. And so the last thing I need to do is put that x term coming first and then the constant. So switch that order, which it was already addition, so it's easy to switch. All right, let's go on to number 5. Again, my goal is to get y by itself. And so I have y minus 4, so I need to get rid of that minus 4. So I'm going to undo it by adding 4, which negative 4 or minus 4 plus 4 cancels. So I've got y equals negative 8x plus 4. And again, I'm done because I have the y term by itself and then the x term plus or minus the constant. So again, you'll see that one just took 1 step. Some of them take 1 step, some of them take 2, 3, 4 steps. It just depends on how the given problem is to you. All right, let's go ahead and look at the next one. Number 6 is the last one that I'm going to do here. So I have 2x plus 5y equals negative 10. Again, my goal is to get y by itself. So there's kind of a lot with the y, so I know this one's going to take me a couple steps. So I have a positive 2x, so to get rid of it, I'm going to subtract 2x. All right, so the 2x minus 2x cancels, and I get 5y equals negative 10 minus 2x. I'm going to make that addition and go ahead and switch the order right away. So I've got negative 5y equals negative 2x plus negative 10 when I switch around that order. Again, you got to keep the sign of what's before it. And then I'm going to divide by 5 because, again, my goal is to get y by itself. And that gives me y equals negative 2/5 x. If it's a fraction, just leave it as a fraction. That's totally fine. We've already graphed things that have fractions. We don't worry at all if there's a fraction. That's totally okay. So just leave it as a fraction. Now you do want to make sure your fraction's in simplest form, which this one is. We can't simplify 2/5 anymore. If it had been, for example, negative 4/10, then we would want to simplify that. But this can't be simplified, so that's good. And then it's plus negative 2. So that's function form there. You could also, for this one, say y equals negative 2/5 x minus 2. And that would be totally fine as well. Either way. All right, so hopefully that gets you started just a little bit. The rest of this worksheet is your homework to finish up, but I've done the first 6 examples for you. And so hopefully between that and the video that you watched, you understand how to move forward. Have a great day.